Hello everyone, in this lecture we are going to learn about attachment details of head to shell butt welded joints. Our flagship courses are Master Static Equipment Design and PVE Light, ASME Section 8 Division 2, and Master Welded Storage Tank, as per API 650. We have curated courses to suit your learning needs. So do visit our learning platform for more details on scutoid.thinkific.com.
So let us start head to shell. It's very simple. Most of you already know. If we have uniform thickness, we are not worried. We can make butt welded joints. Joint details will be given by welding. You will have, if you are using type number 1 joint, then you know what type of weld design you have to give. Okay. So now the problem comes when we have dissimilar thickness. When we have, we are attaching dish end with shell. If it's story spherical, okay, it will have larger thickness. If hemispherical, it will have lower thickness. Even 2:1 ellipsoidal head also may vary with the thickness. Okay. So we have to be very clear how we should be giving that weld design. So now whenever that weld is coming, first of all, we need to, if there is a difference in thickness, we need to have a taper transition, which we studied in UW9, if you remember. Okay. So L by 3 ratio, L by Y ratio should be in 1:3. Okay. Or better. Okay. So now if I have to provide a weld, my weld should start like this after this taper. Okay. So I need to have that much skirt length. Okay. The straight face of the dish end is also called skirt length. So this length, which is given by L, that is also dependent upon, if I have very dissimilar thickness, then this may hamper your skirt length, because you have to maintain this taper and that should not go into the weld. You need to have some space. Okay. So what should be the skirt length? What is the preferred skirt length of addition? 3T or 38 mm. It should be either 3 times of the TH head thickness. You can go up to 38 mm. Okay, and not recommended to go beyond that. Means it's not required, but you can always go to 50. Okay, code does not prohibit, but you should always remember that when you are going the straight skirt length, if you are making very large, the fabrication you are making it difficult. Okay, so dish end forming becomes difficult. So try to keep it minimum. 38 is what is recommended. So 3T or 38. Okay. So that is what is required here. So when we have to provide a taper, when we have dissimilar thickness, typically more than 3 mm difference if we have, or T by 4, whichever is the minimum that will govern. So if we have beyond 3 mm difference in thickness, we need to maintain this taper. So if you have very large thickness, that your final L is going to be very large. So if to accommodate this L, if needed, you can go beyond 38 mm. Okay. So that is the reason sometimes we take larger, because the difference in thickness is very high. Okay. So whatever is minimum, that will govern. Okay. Okay. Now whenever we join these two thickness, okay, like shell, I'm attaching with dish end. You should always remember that whatever is the difference in the center line, okay, center line difference between these two. The center line of the dish end is this. Center line of the dish end shell is this one. Okay. So the difference, which is A, should be always less than half of TH minus TS. Okay. So you cannot have, if you want to match ID, you remember this value. You have to meet this. If we are not meeting, you have to provide a taper after that. Okay. Taper will be required in ID also. So this center line distance is a code requirement which we have to fulfill. Okay. Now, as we discussed, this minimum skirt length, which is the straight face of the dish end, 3 times TH you can go up to 38 mm. Beyond that also you can go if it is required by the difference in thickness. Okay, so you can exceed that. That is not a end point of it. Okay, I hope you understood about that point. Now you can have otherwise, means what if my shell is thicker and dish end is thinner? Okay, skirt length means straight face. So many times we refer it as a skirt length of the dish end. Okay, so don't get confused with that. Both terms are same. Okay, so now the situation can be opposite. Dish end is thinner, shell is thicker. In which case it will happen, guys? When your dish end is thinner and shell is thicker, when that scenario comes, hemi head. In Tori, it will be otherwise. Okay, hemi, correct. So hemi head or hemisphere. Okay, great. So now, if we have this kind of scenario, then also similar things will be applicable in terms of whenever you have difference in thickness, just try to maintain the taper. First, try to match A value, which is the difference in the center line of these two parts. Okay, that should be within the required value of half TS minus TH. Okay, so within you have to keep that, and then you have to decide how much taper I need to provide in OD and ID. Okay,
For in-depth training and to learn more about these courses, register with the link in the description.